I happened to be sitting on the back of a motorcycle as a pillion passenger with my husband driving to Central Australia in summer, and you have to do a lot of thinking. There's not much else to do than look at the vista and think about what you want to do. And I happened to be a point in time in my life where I thought, you know, what do I want to do with my life? And I didn't want to do what I was doing at that point in time. And I thought, how could I use my skills and knowledge? How could I apply myself to in another discipline, if you like? And these are the roots of me thinking about going into training and education and coaching and business development and consulting.
Sue was an elite swimmer herself, and at the time approached Dr. Frank Pike, who was then the director of the VIS, to provide some support for athletes in the area of building their business capacity.
There were probably a lot of athletes that were looking for business opportunities, their own business opportunities, and that Sue would be able to support them with some professional development through her own business.
As we all know, athletes' sporting careers, you know, can be quite short in terms of the fame and glory they may get from it. What do they do beyond that? Where do they go? How can they sustain themselves? How can they be viable, you know, citizens and, you know, and contribute to society?
When I came back from Greece and got involved with the VIS program, I was probably at the end of my career because I'm now retired, and it really helped me and supported me with that transition from, well, what happens after sport, and dealing with, you know, those questions of, well, who am I without water polo?
If you're concentrating only on your sport and you don't have those other things in life to fall back on, then it's a very narrow perspective. But also I think having those other things in life helps with your sporting career as well, because it gives you a good perspective and a good opportunity to bounce one thing off the other.
I've been looking at how I can help athletes from getting jobs and writing resumes to promoting themselves, you know, effectively if they've won medals at the Olympics, for instance, to now the culmination, if you like, of the Barrett Business Scholarship Program.
So the 4 workshops that the athletes participate in are for 2 hours, generally speaking, and they cover a range of areas: planning for sales, optimistic business principles, communication skills, and taking your business plan to the market.
My first session, I left that place with the biggest smile on my face, because we sat down and we nutted out the business of my business, and the business of my business is a statement that she always draws back to, that it should define exactly what your business is, and it should just be able to be said in one clear sentence.
Her slogan was, everybody lives by selling something. And she was talking about how it's okay to sell something. That's what we're all doing. And I think that really stuck with me.
I really enjoyed the sort of the whole course, because Sue's a very engaging person and just sort of a really, you know, can take your sort of thought process to another level.
At the end of the 4 workshops, if you so choose, you can then actually present your business case to a panel. And the panel usually consists of Anne-Marie Harrison, Kate Palmer and myself.
I remember being really nervous with 3 powerful women in the room.
The difference is probably those that have really looked at the number of ways that their business could operate, rather than just coming with a single focus and saying, this is how I'm going to do it. Being prepared to listen and learn and modify their plans along the way, still having the integrity of what the business is that they want to operate, obviously, but you know, certainly having the, I guess, sensibility to be able to say, okay, maybe if we did things a little differently, if I tweaked it a little differently, if I took it in a staged approach rather than, you know, launching straight into it and risking everything, then they tend to be the ones that I think we see over time will be successful.
Anyone who actually presents their business case at the end of the 4 workshops also gets the chance to actually do our online Sales Essentials program, which is an 8-module program of about 25 to 30 hours worth of study.
It's also got all these e-learning opportunities on there and questions, and you can keep all the information that you do, so it just builds on more, consolidating what you learnt from the course.
You get people who are really thinking about what they're going to do with their future, and this becomes, if you like, the starting point, and then others are much further down the track, and this is kind of like the finishing school for them. So I love the fact that when we get everyone together in these workshops, that we have this variety and we can all learn from each other.
By having the support of Ace and having the support of Sue, they've both given me the direction, like the encouragement I needed to be sure that I can do this, and just knowing that they're there for help and guidance is definitely a bonus.
It's this dynamic process where people come back with ideas and what they've been doing, and we share and we learn and we co-create. And then, as from the examples I gave, you can see where they start to take off and not only have an elite career in sport, but hopefully in business as well.